Alright, y'all, let's get this thing started. Well, welcome to the stream, folks. I'm Atari Zero. This is my keyboard building stream. Not sure if we got any new folks on here. It looks like we have most of my usual suspects. However, we do have Jay Hall is here. He has been interacting with me a little bit on a couple other things. And yeah, so he's here today, so that's cool. Who else we got? Who else we got today? Oh, Tofu Mom is here. Welcome. We got Mange HD. I know he's here. Wolves on Wall Street. And I think we got a few people on Twitch. It doesn't really tell you who's watching, but anyway, so yeah, what are we doing today? We got a couple things that we want to do today. I'm going to be building another Preonic because, as you know, that is my absolute favorite keyboard. So I'm going to be building another Preonic. We're going to be putting box royal switches into it. So box royal switches, you might not be familiar with them, you might be, but basically Novel Keys, a switch manufacturer slash like keyboard part retailer, has been working with Kaihua, which is a Chinese switch manufacturer, and to make up a bunch of different switches, and they came up with the box switch. Well, Kaihua came up with the box switch, and then Novel Keys has been working with them to create different versions of the box switch. And the most recent one is the Box Royal, which is a tactile switch. Now, before he had Box Burnt Orange, Box Heavy Burnt Orange, and then Box Burnt Orange, which were tactile switches. But this one is actually pretty tactile. It's a lot more tactile than I was expecting. And it's kind of hard to explain what it feels like. It has a very sharp bump at the very top of the switch, and then it feels like not too heavy, but a little heavy. I'm actually going to compare this to a Zelio's 78 gram switch. I think the Zelio's 78 gram switch is smoother overall, but this is actually pretty. It feels pretty good. Now, people have complained about scratchiness on it. To be honest, I have not felt any scratchiness on it. I don't know what they're talking about. It actually feels pretty good to me. But yeah, this is what we're going to be building this board with. And then also we might be doing some switch lubing, which I know my man Mage HD is going to be all about, because he's always trying to bug me to do some switch lubing. So we might be doing some switch lubing. And for that, I bought some stuff from oneupkeyboards.com. I ended up buying some plate, or PCB mounted stabilizers. That's these guys right here, because we're going to put in a 2-unit spacebar, which I actually like. I usually go all grid with my Preonics, but I went to a 2-unit spacebar with my Mass Drop Preonic, which is this one here. And I also built it on this one here, which is my Godspeed XDA, or XDA Godspeed on my Easy on the Wallet Preonic. And I really like it. I like having the 2-unit spacebar. It's kind of interesting. It gives me some accent kind of stuff that I can do. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to be doing that. And I also, so from oneupkeyboards.com, I bought, this is, let me go ahead and show you here. This is Tribosys lube. This is a Crytox blended lube. We're going to be using this. I actually kind of went overboard and I bought 4 tubes of it. Because I was like, well, I don't know how much I'm really going to need. And I usually try to buy like a good amount of stock or whatever I buy when I buy it, so I don't have to keep ordering it. And it's not very expensive. It's like $5 for a tube of this, so that's not bad at all. Anyway, yeah, and Mange HD says you can never have enough lube, or you never have too much lube, and in some circumstances, yes, you can, and I'm not going to talk about those here. But anyway, so we're going to be using these Box Royal switches, and I'm going to be putting LEDs in this board too. So, one second, my cat is driving me nuts. Loki, hey, Loki. Hey, buddy. Hey. No. I let him in one time, and now he thinks he can always be in here. Okay. So anyway, back to what we're doing. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the lube or not. Probably gonna lube this board. Lube the switches on this board, but I think I'm going to do that after the build, just because I haven't done it before. And really, honestly, I don't even really know if this board needs it. This is 78 gram Zelios, and they feel pretty smooth, so I don't really think this board needs it. Yeah. Feels fantastic, though. But yeah, we could be lubing these ones. So one of the things about these box switches is, for one, they're a pain in the butt to open. So I was thinking about lubing these, but they are an absolute pain to open, and there's really only one spot you can lube them, which is on the like on the little pin that sticks out that gives it its tactility. And I don't really know if that's even worth doing. They come pre-lubed, but I'm not really sure if it's worth putting the time in to mess with that. The housings on these things are an absolute bear to open, though. Kind of wish they had gone with the more standard way of doing it. But anyway, yeah. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that. They will sound better with the lube. They sound fine. That sound you're hearing is my switches bottoming out. So Tofu Mom, I don't know how they would spit the lube out the bottom, considering they're completely enclosed. This switch is, anyway. This switch is completely enclosed. You can kind of see. Oh, let me fix the zoom on this. Whoops, not zoom. Fix the focus. So you can see that it's... Come on. Come on. Okay, so you can see it's like pretty much sealed. There's not really a place for that to come out. Like that's your, like the little hole that's right there in the center there. That's where the slider goes. And I'm not lubing the slider. There's no hole on it. I'm trying to get this centered. So I don't really think that it's really worth doing, or worth worrying about. And it might honestly just be that it's these particular switches that have that, that don't have the little like hole on them. Now, let me take a look at my box navies too. Yeah, the box navies don't have it either. But anyway, and then I was thinking about putting some LEDs in on this board, so probably going to do that as well. Going to be putting on, I think I'm going to do green LEDs this time because I have not done green. And one of the things about boxes, switches as well, because I bought a bunch of SIP sockets, and the thing about box switches is you don't actually need SIPs. You can't use SIP sockets on them because they don't really have the same like build as a Zelios switch or a standard like cherry housing switch. So you kind of just put the LEDs in the bottom there, you solder them in, and then this just kind of goes over it. So, and if you had been watching my stream last time when I was putting LEDs into a box switch, which was on this board here, let me get the zoom fixed here. So that's on this board here, which is my XDA Godspeed board. And this has box navies on it. And the way you have to put these in, you put in the LEDs first, basically. And so yeah, you put the LEDs in first, and then you kind of put the switches in over top of them. And it's kind of weird how they sit in there. And I'm a little bit, like, it was a little bit annoying to get them in place correctly because they wouldn't sit the right way when I was placing them. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I won't do LEDs this time around. I do like them, though. Problem is, if I don't do it now, the way that these switches are designed, you can't actually change them out. Yeah, and J-Hall, yes, they are very clicky. So I'm going to go ahead and type here. You'll see, like, they are very, very clicky. And I cannot type today. So yeah, you can hear that's like, it's a very, very clicky switch, but it's pretty cool. I like them. They have a really good feel. But yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and get started on this then. First thing I want to do, yeah, I don't know. I keep wanting to put these LEDs in though. It's like I keep thinking about it. Like I'd like to have a color of LED that I haven't had before, and green is like. I have green and I have red. I don't really have any others. I have magenta as usual, but I don't have enough of those. But I already have 2 boards with magenta in them. Yeah, I've got magenta, red, orange, and green. Yeah, J-Hall, that's I like Zeals as well. The box switches are really nice, though. I mean, I like clicky, but the problem with clicky is that a lot of people get annoyed by them. So I try not to take them places or use them in spots where I'm going to be working with anyone. So like, you know, at my office or anything like that, where folks are going to get irritated by the sound of my clicking. So I tend not to bring them to work. Stuff like that. Okay, so how's everybody's weekend going so far? What have you all been up to? I spent most of the day today just getting prepped for the stream, actually, and it is really warm in here now. So the weather here in Washington is getting warmer, which means that my studio space is getting warmer, and my studio is an enclosed space. I built this wall back behind me here in the garage, and but now I have this streaming PC that's in here all the time, and it keeps the space kind of warm, and now that it's warmer in general, it's actually getting pretty warm. So, okay, well, let's do some stuff here. Okay, LEDs, short side is the negative side, so we're going to want to do this. So I think a friend of mine was telling me that now Twitch has enabled low latency streaming for everybody, which is interesting. I would not have expected them to do that. Is this back on auto? No. We're gonna change this focus again. I want to have like a tool in OBS where I can change the focus of my cameras without having to go through like all the settings pages. Almost done with college, Tofu Mom. Awesome. Yeah, I graduated from college back in... Well, I started college a long time ago, and I didn't finish it for a while because I actually joined the service. But yeah, I was in college. I graduated in 2005. So yeah, we're going to do these green LEDs. Just cause. Because we can. Oh, this is going to be real bare. Oh, and we need some music. That's what we need. I was like, why is it so quiet in here? Because we ain't got no music going. So let's get that going. What are we going to listen to today? Well, I usually listen to the same thing. I'm usually listening to my synth playlist. I have other stuff we can listen to, but the thing about the synth playlist, I like talk to the person who makes this music, and she's cool with me like playing it on my streams without having to worry about like, you know, getting takedown notices or anything. So yeah, that's why I listen to her music on the stream a lot. I just don't want it to get too loud. So we're listening to, this is Celerect / LA Dreams. They're cool. Nope. Gotta get this OLKB FCC sticker off of here. So we're looking at, it's probably going to be a 4-hour stream today. It's going to be a long one. Oh, actually, let me show you something before we really get going here. I want to show... These are all my resin keycaps that I have made in the last 2 to 3 weeks that are all waiting to be sanded, and then they're going to be sold. So this little bin here, this is all my rejects. This is my B stock, and the rest of this stuff in here, these are all going to be sold. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be selling, I'm not sure. I haven't decided on a price for him yet. I honestly don't really know what's a good, fair price. Everybody's got a different opinion on what they consider like an acceptable price for the kind of artisans that I'll be working on. And I honestly don't really know what would be considered a fair price. So some people are saying $10 to $15 is acceptable, but I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think is a... Gabriella Doria. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And what... Is there a reason to prefer orthogonal? Yes, actually there is. For me. I really like the layouts better. And they tend to be smaller keyboards. So, to give you an idea, it's kind of hard to, the materials don't cost a lot of money, Mister, but it's the process and the, like, knowledge that is what you charge for. So just run real quick, I want to show Gabriella the difference, or Gabriel. Is that Gabriel? I think it's Gabriel. So Gabriel, here's the difference. This is a 60% board, right? So it has roughly 60 switches. I'm not exactly sure how many switches it has in it. Now look at the difference with a Preonic, which has pretty much the same number of switches. You end up saving about 3 inches or so of space. They're about the same height, but you save a bunch of space, right? So if I were to get, you know, like that's like kind of like the big thing for me, the big draw to it is that it's much shorter and you end up saving a lot of room. So, Mange is saying I should charge 15. Tequila Shot, how's it going? I didn't see you pop in here. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. How's your weekend going? What you working on? You know, next weekend is Memorial Day here in the States. So I believe I will have, I think I have Monday off on that weekend. So I'm probably going to do a keyboard stream that weekend, a longer one, because I can. But yeah, I was saying, like, the material costs aren't very high. They're actually pretty small. But it's more about, you know, are you paying for my abilities and stuff like that, my time that I put into them? Because they are kind of time consuming, you know, taking care of all the different aspects of it, cleaning, prepping, all of that stuff. It does take time. Which, I mean, that's where it gets hard to judge, right? Is like, what is my time worth, and is someone willing to pay for my time? And that's always the, when it comes to artwork, that is always the biggest challenge, is anyone actually willing to pay for your time? So, at least that's the problem I've always had. Because I'm a painter as well. I do a lot of painting, or used to do a lot of painting, and the stuff that I usually paint is abstract paint, abstract work. So, how often can I use the molds? You can use them pretty often. It really depends on the structure of the keycap itself, because some keycaps will actually slowly, over time, will actually degrade the mold, especially when you're talking like artisans and stuff that are like shaped or sculpted, because depending on the sculpt, the design itself may wear out the mold. Molds are pretty resilient though, so you can use them pretty often. Yeah, actually, J Hall, I usually stream resin stuff. Like, well, for a while there, I was streaming it every week. So if you pay attention to my stream or stick around, you will see I will do resin casting about once a week. Usually it's a midweek stream, because the streams are only about an hour long. Because you mix the resin, you put it in the pressure pot, and that's it. And then the next time is you pull it out of the pressure pot. So it's not terribly exciting, which is why I haven't been doing a lot of them, because I felt like it was kind of boring for most people, but maybe it isn't. Maybe people want to see it. Maybe people want to see me mess around on my streams. Mess with resin. So who all is on stream? Just taking a look. We got 19 people across the various channels watching today. We got 12 people on YouTube, 6 people on Twitch, 1 person on Mixer. So that's cool. Yo, Smallville 87. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to get back into the streaming habit again. I was streaming a lot there for a while, and then it just kind of died down as I was working on a bunch of stuff, and kind of didn't want to try to stress myself out doing streaming and this. Yo, Mister, what are you doing on Monday? What's going on Monday? Something cool? Hopefully. As much as I love the color of LEDs, placing them in a board is a total pain. Buying a White Fox kit. Mister says he's buying a White Fox kit. So White Fox is what, a 60% board, I think, right? I think it's a 60%. Did you guys see on Mass Drop, did you see the Alt laser board, which is a co-op between Mito, and Mass Drop, and GMK, obviously. But holy farts, it looks good. Unfortunately, I don't like non-ortho boards, so I'm not going to get it. But it does look cool. Tequila Shot says getting some Alias 70 gram or 80 grams. Yeah, Alias are silenced switches, correct? I think they're silent switches. Right? Isn't that right? Alias are the silenced ones? I haven't heard anything of them, or about them. I haven't gotten any reviews of them or anyway. The thing is, I like tactiles. It's my favorite part of a switch, so... Yeah, silent tactile switch is cool. And I actually don't mind the noise. Euphorical says, I got all hyped because Rev 6 Planck PCBs have spots to put RGB LEDs in switch and backlight, as well as a header for a battery, but that wasn't Preonic. Yes, that is true, Euphorical. So to kind of give you some information about that, the Preonic Rev 3 Jack is working on right now. He says that, hold on a second. So, yeah, Jack is working on the Preonic Rev 3, and that will be out soon. So once he's done with that design, then we will get the same features that the Planck is getting. But recently he decided that it wasn't worth it. There wasn't enough people interested in the the non-hot swap versions. And so everybody's getting hot swap, which is really cool. That's going to be awesome. And then he hasn't finished the daughter boards yet. So one of the things about the Planck and the Preonic is that they will have to have a daughter board that sits underneath the regular PCB. And that's what will be providing the in-switch or the RGB LED lighting. So that's going to be cool. You're a dad now? Yeah, so silence can be a big plus. Yeah, I could see that. Even so, I honestly don't think my boards make that much noise. But to each their own, obviously. Yeah, my boards don't make that much noise. I guess it depends on how hard you type too, though. I think for mine, my bottom out switch, my bottom out typing is pretty loud. But yeah, I'm looking forward to my first GMK set. Euphorical, you got to go ortho, man. Once you go ortho, you feel more in Porto. I don't know. No, ortho is fantastic. I'm thinking that, well, so you guys remember the board I built last week, or 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago I built an ortho board. It was another one of these easy on the wallet Preonics. And it was with Zelios 67 gram switches, which is pretty much my favorite switch at this point. But that's my travel board. I'm going to be traveling a lot. Mange says, no, you just feel like a weirdo because like a thing that is not usual, but you're a good type of weird. I guess. I mean, it's not that weird. Mister says that laser board is sexy, and I agree. It looks freaking awesome. I'm just kind of mad that it's not ortho, but I'm niche. I'm niche of the niche, so it is understandable. Which is why, and I've said this before, and I will continue to say it again, next year, one of my big goals is to make my own board. I just don't know when it's going to happen. I got to get, a couple things in order before I can do it. But I'm probably going to end up working with Massdrop on it. Euphorical says he's going to get the easy on the wallet and sticker bomb it with Fortnite stickers. Nice. This is just adding LEDs to these boards. It's kind of a pain. Mister says he's also designing a PCB. Nice. Yeah, I'm designing a PCB in a plate and case. And like I said, I'm probably going to work with Massdrop on it. It's just going to be a different type of ortho. Nothing super exciting. But I want to do it because I want to have an interesting board type out there that is specialized, I guess. It's expensive, that's the problem. And time consuming. So I gotta get the board designed and the case, prototyped and yada yada yada. I think the case is probably going to be the hardest part. TBH. The board's easy. Carly, oh my gosh, Carly Toboggan from Mixer. She is here. Awesome. Welcome to the stream. I am putting LEDs in my board right now. Well, what's going to be a board here soon. Euphorical says he's thinking about getting a PCB made for an alternate Tata 68 layout, and it's going to be a bit bigger than a 40%. Cool. Yeah, my board design's going to be weird. But I like it. I'm pretty much designing it for myself, and then if anyone else wants it, they're welcome to buy it. That's how you roll. So Carly, what is going on? What are you up to this weekend? You gonna stream this weekend? Oh, I can... Actually, if you hold on for just a second, I will show you something. Yeah, I got my hair cut, Carly. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, folks. Carly. What? Look at this. That's it. Well, I wanted to show that to you. Yes, J Hall, that is a K-type. That is what we're looking at there. But I wanted to show one more thing. Did not mean to click that. Okay, here we go. If Carly is still watching, which I think she is. But Carly, that's the board. Pre-done. I haven't done anything with it yet, but soon I will. I just wanted to show you one more thing. And it might not... I gotta remember the keys function for it, but yeah, this is it. So I have this computer has a bad USB port. Gotta try a different one. I have like every USB thing that you can possibly imagine plugged into this computer. There's like no ports left on it. Okay, there we go. But yeah, there it is. So you can see it lights up. This switches, I believe these are speed bronze, I think is what's in here. But it's also got this like magnetic, it's got like a little magnetic riser for it. But yeah. So that's the board, Carly. There it is. So when the time comes, it will be yours. Well, kind of. Kind of yours. Baxter Curry, hey, welcome to the stream. It is aluminum. That is an all aluminum board. It has an acrylic mid spacer to diffuse the light, or an acrylic diffuser, I should say, to diffuse the LED light. It also has RGB LEDs, which I was going to show off, but I have to install the configurator. I haven't done that yet, so I'll be able to do that later. Yeah, K-type is I like that board a lot. I like the way it looks. Obviously, I am an ortho geek, so it's not quite what I want. But I thought it was a pretty cool board. Of all the boards that I've had, though, that were not ortholinear, my favorite by far was the Clue board. I thought the Clue board was awesome. I thought that it was just such a nice case. The design was cool. And I actually was my daily driver for a long time until I changed over to ortho. So so Tequila Shot, you're in EU, so I would say that Well, actually, Mange would know what are easier places to get lube, but you should be able to get Krytox in EU without too much difficulty. Baxter Curry says you're going to get an XD75 with a custom acrylic sandwich. Nice. Actually, so I have an XD75 as well. I cannibalized the switches for a different board, so that's why it's missing much of them. Super Lube 2130, from what he heard, is too dry for stabs. I'm not sure. Mange would know more. My keyboard EU has Tribosis. There you go. And that's what I'm actually going to be using today, Baxter. This is Tribosis. As soon as we get these LEDs, we're doing one more row, and as soon as these are in place, I'm going to test out the LEDs, make sure that they actually work, and then we'll solder them in place. Yeah, some places will do international shipping. It's just, you know, obviously the cost is a lot higher. Especially when it comes to you're buying just a bottle of lube, it becomes very difficult to get it sold or to get it to you because it's going to be expensive for shipping. Yeah, I feel bad for you guys in the EU, man. It's like getting any kind of keyboard parts is a total nightmare. One of these days I'm going to build one of these Preonics using the alternate layout. So the Preonic actually has spots on the PCB where you can use the 1.25 unit switches on the bottom row, but I've never taken advantage of it because I like using a switch plate, and the switch plate doesn't support that. But one of these days I'm going to try it out because it sounds like a cool idea. Because then you get, like, you can use a little more standard keys for your bottom row. So that's cool. Oh yeah, and I wanted to show you all, because I've been working on, obviously been working on these keycaps, but one of the things I've been trying to do is I've been producing 1.25 unit keycaps because I want to, like, have a little bit different artisans to sell, because I think, you know, most of the time it's just a 1 unit, but I want to do that. As well as the 2.0 units switches, so got quite a few of those. Mr. This profile, that is SA profile. Everybody keeps bugging me to do cherry, but I don't own any cherry keycaps to take molds of, so I can't do cherry just yet. But soon I'll be able to. I just have to, I have to wait for a set to come in. I'll be getting, and actually I'm thinking about just getting a set of blanks to test. So I was thinking about just getting a set of cherry blanks, like Enjoy PBT cherry blanks or something like that. Or Enjoy PBT, I can just get like a die subset and it's not going to make any difference. Yeah, XDA is nice, mister, but the problem is, yeah, J Hall, that is a 2-unit, that's SA 2 unit, row 3, SA row 3 2 unit. It's meant for space bars, like Preonic, like on my Preonic here. Or, you know, whatever, Ergodox or whatever other boards use 2 units. 2-unit enters sometimes, right? Just a few more LEDs to go, and then we'll test this out. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, so Mister, I was going to say about XDA, I do like XDA. Obviously, I have it on this board over here. But when it comes to making artisans on them, XDA is a very shallow profile. And so the problem I have with the shallow profiles is it's really hard to make good artisans out of them because there's very little room to work in. The thing about SA that's nice is it's really tall. And so there's plenty of like room to do interesting effects and stuff. The really shallow ones, just there's no room for anything, and so you can't really do cool effects or anything like that. So that's all. That's all I was gonna say about it. Yep. Okay. LEDs work. Okay. So now, time to solder these in place. Or actually, let's do this first. Let's get the switches in the switch plate, and then we'll test the fitting. Make sure that they're all lined up right. So here we go. Cool thing about these is you don't have to clip the stabs. You just put them right in. I like that. I have a feeling I'm really going to like this board, and I'm probably going to want to take it to work. Don't worry, XDA, I still love you. Actually, so speaking of which, Mister, I've got XDA 8-bit is coming in the mail pretty soon. And don't get me wrong, I love XDA. I really like it as a profile, but when it comes to making artisans, it's just kind of, it's not the profile I would use to make artisans. It's just too shallow. But I do like it. I like typing on it. And actually, I might end up moving XDA Godspeed off of this board to this new one with Box Royals so that I can use this upstairs as my primary board or at work. as my primary board. I like low profile. I like low profile sets for travel too, so maybe I'll make this my travel board. Because low profile sets they fit into my bag better. Same thing with that's why I like the thinness of this. Tequila shot, keep your eye out. Keep your eye on Novel Keys' new switch types. Because he has talked about making a new silent switch, and I have a feeling that we will see silent box royals very soon. I know he's making a light box royal, box pale purple or something like that, which is going to be a lighter switch. And then I would imagine that the silenced version is probably going to come after that. He's also making a silenced box clicky, which I have no idea how he's going to silence that click bar. But, I mean, I guess he could just... I guess if he wants to silence the click bar, he could just... Yeah, I don't know what he would do. How do you silence a click bar? Like put rubber around it, I guess? It'll still feel clicky. Just won't make very much noise. So that'll be interesting to see what that ends up looking like. Adjust the camera here a bit. So all I'm doing is just placing them in, clicking in place. It's pretty simple. No stab clipping needed. Well, to be honest, Collective Customs, welcome. Used a bit of a little electric tape to put it on in the inside of the housing where the click bar hits. Yeah, that could work. Obviously, that's a mod. It'd be nice if it wasn't a mod. If it just came that way. Not to say that, what you're doing is wrong, obviously. I don't really like modding my switches that much. I guess I'm just not a big fan of opening up every single switch housing and doing stuff to them. I prefer if I bought it. Carly, you can't hear any of my audio? Let me test that, because it's working fine on my side. You guys can all hear me, right? Twitch, you guys can hear me? I'm just going to test this real quick, guys. Bear with me. Yeah, I can hear it, Carly. Yeah, I can hear it, Carly. Huh. Weird. I guess I can't really talk to her, because then she can't hear it. Anyway, so yeah, so Collective, it adds some inconsistency, and it's very time consuming, especially if you have a bunch of switches. Luckily, I use Preonics, which only have 60, but even like lubing or like opening up the switch, even just like opening up the switch housing to put in LEDs takes like an hour, That's being generous. And you only have to do it once, but I would say for things like user mods, like adding electrical tape, there is going to be a point when you're going to have to mod it again. And most PCBs or switch plates don't support opening box switches either, which is really annoying. So like this one here, if I wanted to mod these, I had to open them first, mod them, then put them into the switch plate, because you can't open them on almost any switch plate that I've seen. Oh, you're using the Chromecast. Oh, is Cheyenne with you? Shy? I'm guessing yes. What are you doing this weekend, Carly? Are you gonna stream? Are you gonna stream this weekend? So I gotta try to catch more of your streams. And hopefully get my Xbox actually set up so I can stream with you. And your cat. Kitties. So I know probably most of you watched, I'm just gonna go ahead and link it, but I was actually interviewed by Mech Merlin a couple weeks ago, and he released the video on Wednesday. So if you guys want to see me talk about keyboards and switches and resin casting, I can link that. Yes! Carly, get yourself some headphones. I'm excited to see how your setup works. Okay, so now I've got the switches in the switch plate. And I can say that the feeling is tactile, but it's very different. It's a very different kind of tactile. It feels dry, I guess would be the way I would explain it. It's like a dry tactile. I mean, obviously I'm not typing the switches with the keycaps on, but yeah, the way I would describe it is dry. And I guess people would say that's why they call it scratchy, but scratchy to me has a different connotation. This doesn't feel scratchy. This feels like dry. Doesn't feel bad though, just different. Okay, so now if I line these up, yeah, the tactility is very high up. It's true, mister. It happens very quickly and then bottoms out, which actually I kind of like. TBH. I like how that feels. And Tequila Shot, you found my channel through that video. That's awesome. Yeah, my viewership is going up, that's for sure, which is cool. It's always nice to have new visitors. Just testing out my LEDs here real quick before we get too far. All right. So I think we can go ahead and start soldering in everything. It is time. We're gonna take a short break before we get into that though, because that's a much more involved process. So I'm just gonna do a few things, kind of relax for a second. Set up my ventilation over here. Oh, so actually, Carly, with that board, one of the things that's cool about that board is you can change out the switches. And so the switches that are coming on this board, are kind of like, they're clicky. You can kind of hear how they click. So I was thinking I might want to change out the switch type, So it's these ones here, which actually, I guess these are, what, speed yellow or yellow something, or I don't know what they call these. But we can change these out for a different switch if we wanted to do that. And I have tons of different switches to choose from. And actually, it'd be kind of cool to put box navies in this so it's like super clicky. What do you think? I think this would work with box navies because they are Kyle H switches, so you should be able to take them. Otherwise, we have various tactile switches. I think this is, what, 87 keys. It's a TKL. It's going to have 87 keys. And then because of this board it is completely user configurable and hot swappable, the end user can end up switching it themselves if they wanted a different switch. Also, they don't have to stick with the switches that came with, which is another awesome feature of it. So I'll give that some thought and maybe try out a few different things to see what it's like. All right, so it is time to be safety conscious, put my safety glasses on. I also need to do something with this fan real quick. I'm gonna mute the mic. I need to vacuum out the cat hair on this fan. Okay. I had to get the cat hair on this fan was ridiculous. So this fan used to be upstairs in the window as like a little exhaust fan, and my cats used to sleep in front of it. So it was just completely covered in cat fur. Okay. That's better. Let's get my drink going. So my next thing that I want to do for keycaps is I want to start doing some sculpting. and start making sculpted artisans. I got plans for it. I just haven't quite gotten around to it yet. Sculpted artisans are cool. It's a lot of work. A lot of work, a lot of time. But they can be fun. Are Hako Trues any good? I tried Hako True. That was like when I had the first. I had the K-type, the original K-type, which is what that one is. And I had Hako Trues, and they were really weird to me. They were they felt really mushy. I don't know. That's the only way I could think of it, was like saying it felt kind of like a heavy rubber dome in a way, with some tactility. But that's kind of what it felt like to me, and I don't really like it. All right, let's get soldering. Oh, I need water for my soldering iron. Be right back. Oh, I actually, so I bought new silicone. So now I'm going to be able to do some more molds because I ran out of silicone recently. And now I need more silicone so I can do another set of molds so I can start really getting a mass production. Right now I've got 2 molds that I use. That's these 2 guys, right? This one here, and this one. So I got these 2, which are pretty nice, but I was kind of learning on how to make a good mold when I was doing these ones. There's some things about these particular molds that I would like to redo. But I'm still going to keep them. They're just kind of like, the maintenance on them is really high. I have to clean them constantly. And I really shouldn't have to do that as much. I mean, you always have to clean your molds, but the amount of cleaning I have to do on these is actually pretty excessive. So I want to get a better mold system made up. But I got these 2 here. You can kind of see quite a few caps I can make from it. But I got enough silicone that I can probably make another 2 or 3 of these. But I think I'm going to do a different profile, so either a cherry profile or a maybe I'm either going to do cherry profile or I'm going to do MT3. So if you guys know what MT3 is. So MT3 is this is one that Massdrop worked with Matteo, or Matt3O, but Matteo to make, and it's very similar to SA, but it is much more spherical. It feels really good. Like it feels excellent to type on. I absolutely love it. So I'm kind of keen on making it for a regular set, just because it feels so good. And then it's got this big ass enter that everybody loves. Even though I think Mange hates SA. I don't know if he would like. I don't know if he would like MT3. I bought a lot of MT3, so I'm trying to find. Yeah, so this is like a whole set almost. It's got all the different rows in it. And then I don't have the alphas right now, but I should be able to get a set of them pretty easily. And then I'm just gonna, well, they are die subbed, so I don't have to worry about the silicone picking up the legends. So I'll probably do a silicone cast of those, or silicone mold of those somewhat soonish. And then I'll start making those. So that should be fun. All right, so now it's time to solder, folks. Oh my gosh, so many soldering things to do. But we're gonna start like we usually do. We're gonna start with the 4 corners. Oh man. I am so glad I caught myself. I want to put a stabilizer and do a 2-unit space on this. I want to do 2-unit space. So glad I caught myself. Yeah, actually, a lot of boards support the big ass enter. You just have to find the right one, but tons of them do. I'm sure Mange would be happy to point you in the right direction. Yeah, personally, big S enter really isn't my thing. It's I'm all about efficiency of space, which is why I go with ortho. But I think it looks cool, and if I start making artisans out of it, I think I could come up with some really cool designs with that. So I'll probably end up doing that somewhat soon, now that I have the silicone for it. That's weird. This is not fitting in correctly. Maybe I got it in there wrong. Oh, there we go. I always end up putting the stabilizer in backwards. Or trying to. You know what, just to make Mange happy, I'm gonna lube the stabilizer real quick. What up, Mange? Ready? Gonna lube this stabilizer. This isn't a super thick lube though, so I'm not gonna lube the actual I'm just gonna lube the sides. So I'm just putting a little bit of lube on the sides here, on the housings. Just to kind of reduce the feeling there, the little, like the friction. A little bit of just reducing the friction just a little bit on those stabilizers, because they do scratch just a little bit. And normally I don't care, but I'm gonna try starting to live that lube life. Did I clip the stabs? No, actually, I don't like clipping the stabs on my stabilizers. I don't know why. It just bothers me, I guess. But yeah, I just go with them straight up. I haven't clipped them, no. Put some in the hole, huh? I mean, I guess I could lube the bar as well, just a little bit. Ooh, that's a bit much. Doesn't need much though, just a little bit. And it's not that it really bothers me. It's just kind of like it makes them a little louder, I guess. You know what? We'll do it. We'll do it. Because I had one board that had it like that, and I remember it feeling kind of different, but I did get used to it. So we'll do it on this one too. So for those of you who are watching who aren't keyboard geeks, what we're talking about is on the actual stabilizer, there's this little leg that kind of hangs out down at the bottom here. And it's really hard to see. You can kind of see it in this angle here, but there's this little leg. It's like right there. I'm trying to get a good view of it, but it's really hard. Anyway, so we're clipping that leg off. And what that does is it flattens out the stabilizer. Flattens it out, and it makes it kind of like when you press down the key, it doesn't have this like little rebound feeling. It just hits the base of the board directly. Trying to make sure I didn't completely mess it up here. Okay. All right. It is now clipped. Yeah, I remember it feeling different, but it not being like a huge difference to me. But I remember it being like, oh, that feels different. And but it kind of bothered me, but I did get used to it after a little while. So put some, keep putting a little more lube in these stabilizers here. Just kind of getting this. There we go. All lubed up. Okay, so now I gotta put an LED back in that spot, because now I'm using a single unit for that, so gotta put these in place. LED goes in there. Whoop. Just like that. Okay. And now put one switch in there. All right, we are ready to go, gang. So now we just make sure all the switches are pushed in. Stabilizer's all in its spot, right where it needs to go. Okay, let's solder this. Now what I usually do is I usually do the first 4 corners. Do those first. And that just helps hold the board in place. All right, that's one. What are you talking about, Maine? Shoes stupid? Why are they stupid? Not disagreeing, but why are people stupid? Cherry housings are the best material. Agree to disagree. I mean, I don't know. I think I like the clear housings that Gateron has. I have not seen any cherry clear housings. Yeah, does Cherry have clear housings? I don't think they do on any of their switches. Yeah, I like low friction nylon. Smoother, and it's clear. It's clear, which means that when you put LEDs on them, they will shine through. And when it comes to doing these RGB boards, you know, like the ortho boards that are coming out with Rev Plank 6 or Plank Rev 6 and such, you have to have a clear housing. Oh, this is going to be a pain. Yeah, I think Gateron's housings are just fine. But I don't go all crazy and mod my switches either, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. I pretty much use stock switches. Oh, yeah. So I'm lubing, or I am soldering both the LEDs and the switches at the same time here. So this is going to go a little slower than normal, but it shouldn't be too bad. Mr. and Tequila Shot, that is incorrect. Mito Laser has been delayed twice. Their current estimate is they will be receiving Mito Laser, or GMK Laser, in GMK Laser will be coming out, or they'll be receiving it at the end of June, which means they will start shipping it to everyone in mid-July. That was the last I heard. So, which is unfortunate because I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, they delayed production quite a bit because they couldn't get the colors right. Yeah, DSA Drifter was also... Oh, wait. What are you saying, Baxter? What's the shame about DSA Drifter? DSA Drifter, actually, last I heard, 2 weeks ago, it was shipped to the original thing. So the key company who ran the buy for DSA Drifter got the keys. So what have you heard about it? I'm very curious, Baxter. Oh, yeah. It's delayed because the original production blanks were bad. Really? I didn't know that. Cast new blanks. Oh, so like the actual keys themselves were like deformed or something? So how long is it getting delayed? And where did you hear that? Because I haven't seen any news. They haven't sent me any newsletter or anything like that saying that. So I want to read and follow up and see what happened. The new ones are being die subbed now? Okay. So that'll probably take a long time. Because like 2 weeks ago they posted a picture. Yeah, 2 weeks ago they posted a picture of the keys in like giant bags. And it made it look like they were actually in pretty good shape, but apparently not, huh? And now I need to see this. I'm looking. So I really want to know what happened here. $5.16. I'm just reading along here real quick. Huh, interesting. Well, he did have pictures of the most recent... Yeah, he did have some pictures, most recent pictures from them. And it looks like he's got quite a few, so maybe they're actually further along than it seems. Huh. Well, that is interesting. Well, I do know that XDA 8-bit is on its way. It's got mailed very recently, like 3 days ago. So I'm expecting I should be getting it sometime in the end of next week. Actually, I can check that. I'm going to check that. Oh, it's just a pre-shipment notice. Okay, well, yeah, XDA 8-bit should be on its way in another week or so. And it's shipping from California, so I should get it kind of quickly. And won't that be nice? Come on. I was really excited for DSA Drifter, though. I mean, I still am excited for it. It's not like I'm not excited for it. I was just hoping that it'd be here by now. It's a cool-looking set. I think I bought 2 sets. So I'm going to have tons of keys. That ought to be cool. Mister, you're saying don't what? What surprise is being ruined? Yeah, and the fact they only produced 500 of them is kind of a big deal, you know? Surprised of when my caps will come. I want to know so I can actually be here. I actually have to go on a business trip in about 2 weeks. And so I'm like making sure that I'm on top of when things are coming in because I have to alert someone to check my mail for me. And so I'm being very attentive to all my shipping products. That's kind of a big thing. Because I'm going to have, I think, to be honest, I think like I'm going to have 2 sets that come in around the same time. Probably XDA 8-bit and DSA Legacy. So DSA Legacy is another Mito set that looks awesome. Mr. Tequila Shot says, on the fence about DSA Arcane / Plague. I think it looks pretty cool. I was looking at it and I kind of put a set in my cart, but then I kind of backed down from it and I was like, hey, I got enough sets coming in this year. I don't really need to buy any more. But it was definitely tempting to get it. I want Arcane. Plague looks okay, but I think I like Arcane better. But I am very excited for... I'm excited for Drifter, and I'm excited for Laser, and I'm excited for Legacy. Yeah, the alt laser was pretty funny because Mito like kind of teased it, and then Mastrop blew the surprise by posting it as a by posting an email alert for it, which I thought was kind of funny because Mito was like, expect something cool. Oh wait, Mastrop already told everybody. Never mind. Akis says, are there any other cyberpunk themed sets out there? I think so. Let me think. Well, I mean, I guess Pulse, maybe. I don't know, but in terms of like an actual theme, DSA laser is GMK laser is probably the only one that's actually intended from the ground up to be like a cyberpunk set. Outrun, it depends. I mean, you could say that SA Miami is considered Outrun just from its like color scheme. You know, the cyan and magenta color scheme could be construed as Outrun, though it's really Miami, but the two kind of like overlap a little bit. Yeah, and actually, Mister, the one of the cool things about the alt board is that it's going to use, I believe it has RGB switches or RGB lighting in it, just like the control does. So that'll be cool. You can change out your LEDs, your coloring to match your keycaps, which is awesome. Soldering, so boring. It's tedious. Mister says you're going to disable it, but to each their own. Yeah, not everybody likes LEDs. I actually only turn mine on occasionally. I don't really keep them on all the time. Just because they can be pretty bright, and so yeah, I don't always have them on. All right. I just need to stop for a second. Ugh. I gotta stay caffeinated. So yeah, once we're done with this, I'm gonna put the XDA Godspeed caps on this board, and then I'm going to I think I'm gonna pop the keycaps off this and lube these switches. Now I've never lubed Zelios before, so I'm gonna need some guidance on where I'm supposed to put the lube on them. Can I show what? Can I show them? Show what? Not sure what you mean. Show this board? This is XDA Godspeed. Pretty nice set. And then obviously SA Miami. Oh, did I show this to you guys? I don't know if I did. I ended up getting, I completely forgot about this, but I got one of the Jelly Key Coral keycaps. It came in the mail a while ago and I entirely forgot about it. But yeah, there it is. It is gorgeous. And it glows in the dark. Actually, I'm going to put that on this board right now. Yeah, tequila shot. I've never lubed any switches, so it's kind of a new thing to me. Yeah, so that's the... There it is. It is SA row 4. I really love this board. This is my daily driver upstairs on my computer. You want to see some laser caps? I also got these. These are some of the laser, like, the Dex Artisans. Got those in. They look awesome. The amount of work they put into these is incredible. Hammer is a pretty amazing producer. I would love to meet that. The new Artifact Artisans, yeah. Those look cool too. They're just so expensive. So Mister, I actually can't show the glow in the dark because the cameras automatically adjust to the lighting. I can show photographs of it later though. Okay, back to soldering. We're only like 2/3 of the way done, if that. Or maybe a third, 1/3 of the way done. So we still got a lot of work to do. Sometimes I just need to take a little break in between soldering though, because it just gets to be a little tedious, that's all. So I've been playing Monster Hunter World lately. I'm not sure if you guys have ever played Monster Hunter games, but I've been playing Monster Hunter World and I freaking love it. It is a really good game. Very complicated. It's got a lot of different various systems going on. But I kind of like the grind on it. I feel like the grind is kind of fun in a way. Getting the different monster materials and stuff is really neat. One of my friends is trying to convince me to play Conan. What is it? Conan Age of Exiles or something like that, or Age of something? Can't remember. And I've thought about it. It seems like it could be a fun game. But they still haven't put in like a couple of the systems that I want to do. Mister, you don't have a console? So it's coming for PC later this year. Monster Hunter World is. I think it comes out in October. I think is what they were saying. Mister says, don't get it, it's abandoned. Yeah, that was what I thought too. The Conan game. But apparently Funcom bought it, and they released a huge patch recently, which is why I knew about it. Because Funcom sent me an email saying that they released this huge content patch, and that now they're actually actively working on it. So I don't know what happened there, but I looked at it and I was like, not really my thing. But yeah, apparently they're putting active development back into it. So yeah, so I think Tequila, I think now it's like version 1. I think it's release 1. What's up? What's up, mister? What's your good news? Give me your good news. I want to know. Don't leave me hanging. Oh my gosh, this is so many things to solder. We are making very good progress. I also saw that oh, Mr. Farnsworth, yes. Good news, everyone! One of my favorite Farnsworth lines was what's he say? Farnsworth, he comes like, good news, everybody! I have bad news! So anyway, they had, yeah, so I also read that No Man's Sky is getting a really big update to allow multiplayer. Now, I got No Man's Sky when it first came out, and I liked it even then. I know a lot of people hated it, but I actually liked it. And then they kept updating it, and they kept improving it. And now they have an update for multiplayer, which is going to be pretty cool. And I think they're adding some extra quality of life features that people have been bugging about. So I'm excited for that. It'll give me a reason to play No Man's Sky again, which I might actually stream, because that's a fun game and it's kind of fun to stream. I haven't been streaming my video game playing lately because I've been playing lots of Warframe, which tends to be kind of boring for most people to watch, I guess. It's fun to play, though. Bad news, everybody. You're all fired. Yeah, Farnsworth is freaking awesome. We are 3 rows down, almost. So we are getting close. We've been streaming for 2 hours now. I'm thinking we're probably got about another 2 hours to go. I wanted to do some resin casting, but I had to clean all my molds out and wash them because there was a bunch of resin residue from the last casting, which didn't go very well. The last casting I used some really old resin that had been laying around, and it did not go well. Made a mess, and the caps turned out mostly okay, but not 100%. And so now I have to I had to wash them, and I have to let them dry a little bit. I could put them in my light oven and let them dry probably, which actually that's not a bad idea. I might just do that. Looks like we got 15 viewers still. Got quite a few people watching this morning. I want to thank you all for watching. And I'm going to take a break here after this row. Just a real quick break to grab some coffee. And I want to show you all something. Just real quick. All right, taking a quick break. Just to grab some coffee. I want to show you all this. So if those of you who actually watch my streams pretty often, Nathan Kim, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. So those of you who watch my stream on the regular know about this, but those of you who are new, I will be running a giveaway for this keyboard. This is the Zeal 60 RGB 60% keyboard. I'll be running a giveaway for this later this month. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I need to get a case for it for the giveaway. But later this month, this will be coming out as a giveaway. And I'm probably going to include switches with it. I have to kind of get some coordination with that. But that's what's probably going to have. So keep an eye out for that. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, these are so this one, it has RGB. It doesn't have RGB underglow, but it has RGB per key LED lighting, which is pretty fantastic. So keep your eyes on that, and you'll be able to win this board. And it's coming with a case. Ski with Pete, who owns oneupkeyboards.com, offered to donate a 60% I believe it's going to be a 60%. It might be an acrylic case, either an acrylic case or a 3D printed case. It's probably going to be a 3D printed case, but he offered to donate a board for it, or a case for it. So I'm going to coordinate with him. But he is actually out of the country. Last time I talked to him, he was in Costa Rica. So yeah, Baxter Curry. So keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes on my channel. I probably will be giving away one of these Preonics in the next couple months. I mean, I have 5 of them. Actually, this is 6. I think this is number 6. So yeah, keep your eyes on my channel, and I'll probably be giving away one of these Preonics as well. But that's not going to be until later in the year. I don't want to do too many giveaways. Like, I want to kind of space them out because I want to try to build up stuff to include them. And Mister, I probably will include some B-stock keycaps. I did in the last giveaway, I did as well. I included a couple B-stock keycaps in with that giveaway. That was the mass drop plank. So I included a couple keycaps in that. So keep your eyes on my channel, and you'll be able to see some of the stuff that I've got going on. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. I do love doing giveaways. I think giveaways are really exciting. And some of you, if you can make it to the Seattle meetup in the summer, the Seattle keyboard meetup in the summer, I'm giving a talk. I'm going to be doing a talk about streaming. Streaming keyboards, streaming resin casting, all that kind of stuff. It's only going to be a half-hour talk, I think, at the most, maybe 15 minutes. They haven't really given me a time frame yet, but I'll be doing that, so that could be cool. And I'll make sure that everybody knows about that when the time comes. If you can make it to the Seattle meetup, that would be awesome. I would love to see you all there. So, and Jay Hall, yes, I do have to make room for the Rev 3, and I am not joking. As soon as Jack puts up the high-profile Preonic cases, I'm probably gonna sell or give away some of these other boards, and I'm gonna buy 2 of the high-profile cases because I freaking love them. I love the way they look. So Jay Hall, yeah, so Mass Drop, that was this one. This is what they had on the Mass Drop high profile case for the Preonic, but they're, I think they're still gonna do, well, they're still gonna do a drop from it, but I guess Jack is waiting for them to do Rev 3 before he does another drop. Same thing with the plank. Like, he's not going to release another plank mass drop thing until Rev 6 is completed. So, and I think he's going to wait until Rev 6 and the daughter boards are completed before he does that. Speaking of mass drop stuff, though, I think the plank light should be shipping really soon for those who got in on that. I didn't because I like the number row, but I know a lot of people were really stoked about the plank light. I mean, I liked my plank because of how easy it was to travel with it when I went, as I took it with me to Ohio the last time I went on a business trip in October, And it was so small. It was so easy to just throw in my bag. I really liked it. And I got the camera adapter for my iPad, and so now I can plug my keyboard into my iPad, which is really cool. So I can take my iPad with me when I go out, or when I go to meetings. I don't have to take my whole laptop, which is really nice. Just take notes on that, write emails on that, and still use a mechanical keyboard for it, which is really cool. I don't like the like case keyboards, or what do you want to call them? Like the, I don't know what to call them. They're like case keyboards, where like it's like they flop over. I don't know. They're just kind of weird. They're not terrible, just not my style. Actually, so Jay Hall, I can tell you how to fix that. There is actually a setting in your config file that you need to change. And actually, I can tell you that in a second here. I'm just going back over some of my solder joints. I just realized that a few of them are they're a little low on solder. But yeah, there's a setting you change, and you tell it to limit the USB to, I believe, 100 milliamps. And when you tell it to limit to 100 milliamps, it'll work fine. It'll stop giving you warnings. And what's funny is that setting, all that setting is, it doesn't actually limit it to 100 milliamps. All it is it's telling the iPad that that's its max usage. The iPad will actually let you pull more than that, and it works fine. Killboy301 following. Thanks for the follow, man. I hope you're enjoying my stream. I know it's kind of weird. It's very specific, talking about soldering keyboards. But thank you for following. It's pretty cool. Nice to get new followers. Mister says that it's going to be a 10-hour flight to Seattle. Yeah, it's a bit much. You're living in Europe. Next year, I told Mange that I'll come to Sweden next year. And I'm not joking. I'll fly to Seattle, or I'll fly to Sweden for a vacation. Hell yeah. Why not? Aki's asking if I go to any of the Ohio meetups. No, because I live in Washington. I was actually in Ohio the week before the last meetup, but I left that week, so I actually didn't get to go, which was really unfortunate because, you know, I'm actually from Columbus. Like, I lived in Columbus for most of my life. So it was really unfortunate that I didn't get to go. Even though I doubt I would know anyone there. Columbus is a big city, man. I miss it. The place where I'm living now is way too small. Way, way, way too small. I like big cities. You want to go see Iceland, huh? What about Iceland you want to see? What's so cool about it? Besides the fact that Bjork is there, and Bjork is awesome. You want to go to Reykjavik? Yeah, I've never actually been to Europe, so I would love to go to Sweden. My friend Pyro goes to Sweden pretty often. He works for a company called DreamHack that's based out of Sweden. They run a lot of like game competitions and shows and stuff, like conventions. So he works for them, and so he travels a lot. And so he goes to Sweden pretty often. You want to see Greenland? Okay, so Greenland, which is pretty much nothing but ice. It is ice and rocks. So what is it you want to see in Greenland then? You looking to see some ice and rocks? Because they got you covered. Yeah, DreamHack's like esports stuff. And he works for them. He's one of their lead event coordinators, actually. Here in the States, actually, he is pretty much number one. The number one, like, event coordinator. He's kind of a big deal. No, but really, he does a lot of work for them. You know, he works directly for them, but he's one of their, like, more productive members, I guess, on their team. But he loves it, and it's pretty cool to see him. Ice and rocks. Ice and rocks, man. We are so close to done. Just getting my stuff up here. The geysers, huh? Oh, someone's texting me. Yeah, I want to go to, well, I want to travel, but, like, this year is kind of messed up because I have a lot of work stuff going on. And so I'm not going to get a lot of time for travel that's not work-related travel. So I'll probably end up traveling next year sometime. Also, I need the money for it, and right now I have money, but I'm kind of have it earmarked for other stuff that's not keyboards. And so I can't really travel this year. It's definitely something I want to do because I want to go for like a long period of time. I've always wanted to go to India, but you know, if I go somewhere like India, I want to spend like 2 entire weeks there. But next year, maybe, my friend and I are talking about going somewhere. We thought about Mexico because it's cheap and it's close. It's only like a 6-hour flight to most places in Mexico. So we thought about going there, and we still might. And then, what was the other place we were talking about? We also talked about going to Japan, because my friend My friend's girlfriend speaks Japanese pretty well, and so we thought about going there to have fun. Go to the Netherlands. Everybody speaks English. Yeah, that is... Well, we were thinking if we go to Europe, we'll probably end up stopping in a few places. And the Netherlands is definitely one of them. I'm just not entirely sure where we want to go. The thing is with my kinds of vacations is I actually like to just go and like eat food and kind of just walk around the cities and stuff. I'm not a huge like tourist attraction kind of person. I don't like to like go see the sights and stuff. So it really depends on what places have like the most chill cities to hang out in that are easy to get around and fun to visit. And just travel from the Netherlands to different places. Yeah, because the Netherlands is what? Like, it is north of Germany? Right? I can never remember. My geography of Europe is not great. The Netherlands is right up against the sea, right? You don't really have... West. Okay, it's west. Right. You don't really have food there? What do you guys eat then? I'm just picking on you. Yeah, every place has got their own little thing, right? I'm always curious about what places eat what kind of things are their, like, signature dishes and such. Okay, we are all done with soldering, finally. Oh, my back is killing me. I shouldn't have been leaned over like that. I need to get a chair to sit on. Okay, let's clip these LED leads off, and then we'll plug it in and do a keyboard test. Our signature dish is fries. I like fries. Fries are delicious. That's a signature dish that you should be proud of. Do you guys put mayonnaise on your fries? A lot of people think that's weird. I love mayonnaise on fries. Fries with mayonnaise, vinegar, especially like I use curry mayo on my fries. Curry mayo is the shit. I love it. Alright, cutting off these LED leads and then test it out. Don't believe the French or anybody from Belgium that say they invented it. So I read a while ago the history of fries, and there was a guy talking about, basically like, was saying that like along, like, you know, back in the 1800s, you know, people ate fries and stuff, but that the type of fries they used back, or they had back then, were like shoestring fries, what we call shoestring potatoes. Very, very thin cut, basically julienne. And so it's kind of a different style of French fry or you know, fried potato than what we usually get or we associate with them. And then it wasn't until like the 1900s that the thicker type of fry came out or became popular, and that was what everybody was eating. So one of the things here in Washington that's really huge is garlic fries. So what you do is you take your French fries after you've pulled them out of the fryer, and you toss them with garlic oil, like extracted garlic oil, Parmesan cheese, and then freshly grated garlic and parsley. And oh my gosh, it is so freaking good. Yeah, Hellmann's is different, I think, than most mayonnaise. It's a very, very different kind of mayonnaise. Do you like Hellmann's? So, you know, me personally, I'm actually not a huge fan of, like, just standard mayonnaise. I usually get different types of mayonnaise. Yeah, Belgium is a city. Did I say it was a country? I might have. Oh no. Shit. Oh no, I think I just nicked one of my resistors. Oh god, I did. Crap, that's one thing I've always been afraid of. I nicked one of my resistors. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Because these are all SMDs. I can fix it though. I do have some through-hole resistors I can probably use. Yeah, they're SMDs. Just the way that these are set up, the way that the board is designed, they like sit very close to the LEDs, the LED legs, and so not clipping them is very, you have to be super careful to not clip them. I mean, because they're like right next to where the LED leg goes through. I mean, that's something I've always been afraid of with these PCBs. And it's never happened before. I've always been able to not have it happen, but this time, definitely not. Definitely my worst fears have been realized. Shit. Yeah, it just means I'm gonna have to jump that with a. I'm gonna have to put a resistor in there, 4700 ohm resistor, or milliohm. That's not too bad. It just sucks that I clipped it. Just barely nicked it, and it came off. And to be honest, really the only reason why that happened is because I'm using... The only reason that happened is because... oh no, so it didn't just nick it, like, I actually, like, cut into the resistor and the resistor cracked in half. So you can't you can't solder it. So I'm gonna have to find a way to repair that. That is really bad. I can't really show you what it looks like because it's a very tiny component. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a way to jump that one. That LED just isn't gonna work basically, which is not the end of the world, but yeah, so the only reason why this even happened is because because the box switches, they don't hold the LED in place like cherry style switches do. There's no holes for them. They just kind of come through the bottom of the housing, and so you have to bend the legs to get them to stay in position. And that's what caused it. Because normally the LED will just stay in place because the switch housing holds it. But a few of these LEDs, where they're placed, where the resistors are placed, they're right next to that leg. And it's still a good board and all, but it's always bothered me. Yeah, I do have spare resistors. I just don't have SMD resistors. And to be honest, SMD components are not my forte when it comes to soldering because they are so incredibly small and delicate. So I'm gonna have to use one of the larger old school resistors, which I have tons of. I just have to find a 4700 one. 4700 milliohm, which are very tiny resistors. And I think I only have, most of mine are much higher resistance. But it's basically, I mean, 4700, it's basically, you know, I can probably get a, I can probably find a 5 ohm resistor and it'll work fine. Just that one LED will be very dim, or can be dim. It might not be getting enough light or power to it. Ooh, that hit me in the face. Yeah, Baxter, the Pro Micros USB ports. Pro Micros just in general are not very good. For the longest time, I did not understand why people hated on them so much until I soldered a board with one. And yeah, they're not built very well. Sorry, I keep blocking the camera here. I'm trying to keep my eyes very focused on these components so I don't crack another resistor. But you can see, I mean, look how close that is. It's like right there. It's right next to it. Like, look at that. It's right there. It's so close. And if I bent the legs a different way, like if I bent the legs going up and down instead of left and right, the LED twists, and it looks weird when you see it inside the switch. So, lesson learned. In a way, I'm actually pretty glad that Jack is moving to... I'm actually really glad that he's moving to those hole-tight, or not hole-tights, but the hot swap sockets and daughter board with RGB LEDs, because you won't have to do this kind of stuff anymore. Everything will be hot swap. Everything will be faster. Plug them in and go. And if you don't want to, you can desolder the hot swaps and solder your components in. Or at least I think that's what he said. There will be a way for you to still be able to solder them. I can't remember. I am a little bummed about that one LED though. Not the end of the world, but it's kind of a bummer. Okay. All the legs are clipped. Turn off my soldering iron. Guys, we have been streaming for 2.5 hours now. Thank you so much for sticking around. We got 14 viewers, which is pretty sweet. 14 viewers going. Let's see what our numbers are like. We got 9 people on YouTube, 3 on Twitch, 2 on Mixer. So hello to all of you. Thanks for watching. All right, plug it in. Yeah, it looks like a couple of the LEDs aren't working. We got a couple, we got 2 on this side and 1 over here. Let's see why. This one here, what's going on with this guy? I see nothing wrong with it. And there's 2 over here that weren't working. One is the one I clipped. And the other one, I see nothing wrong with it. I think it might just be a bad LED. Okay, well, those we'll have to fix later. Yeah. Man, those are bright. Look at how bright these are. They are just stunningly bright. But yeah, you can see there's a couple that are these two here. This one's the one that got clipped. This one is just, I think, dead. And this guy down here, this one's dead as well. But okay, keyboard tester time. Oh, you know what? We can, I should flash this with my layout before we go any further, but I'm going to do that. Where are we? I want to go to QMK. Okay. Alright, board is programmed. Now it's time to test. Cool, we are all set, folks. All the keys work. Mister, we do not have Maggie. Well, you can find it, I should say. You can find Maggie. But in general, I think most people don't know it, what it is, or use it. But yeah, you can find it. Okay, so the board's good. The board works. It's been programmed, flashed with QMK. So yeah, we are set with that. Really a bummer about those LEDs though. I've got to try to figure out how I'm going to fix that. I have a couple ideas, but actually executing is going to be the hard part. Because kind of what I'm thinking I might have to do is... So the problem is you can't pull the switch tops off on once you've soldered them in on the box switches, because the switch type the switch housing itself doesn't support switch top removal on most plates. So what you've got to do is what you can try to do is you can desolder the switch, pop it out, and replace the LED in that spot. I just don't want to do that today. I have my desoldering iron and all that, but yeah, I just don't feel like messing with that currently. It's kind of a bummer though. Some of the LEDs are kind of wonky too. They're facing weird directions. Yeah, I'm starting to think LEDs plus LEDs in the LEDs and box housings just not really designed to go together. Wouldn't be so bad if they would just put LED like cutouts in here, because it's like they have this flat space here like Gateron housings do or Cherry housings do. There's like this flat space here, but there's nothing. There's a hole there. There's no hole, I should say. So there's no way you can put an LED in that spot without that hole. I mean, if they just drilled, if they just put holes there, it would be like any other switch type, and you could just put your LEDs in and it'd be fine. And actually, that part of the switch, it's completely isolated from the rest of the box housing, so it's not like it would make a huge difference. But whatever. Okay, so now we're going to take the caps off of this and we're going to put it on this one. Oh, and I have chat minimized. Stammy Fan 90, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, actually, so you can put LEDs in with a box switch. That's actually what these guys are. This board. This is box navy, and it's got UV LEDs in it, so you can do it. The click bar does get in the way, but that's why you have to use a very specific switch type, or a very specific LED type. We're going to put XDA Godspeed on this board. Or, well, yeah, we'll put XDA Godspeed on it. I think this is going to end up being my travel board. I like the way it feels. We're just going to pop them all off and then do it. Yeah, I think they just need to make new top molds. And actually, the top molds for the click bar switches is entirely different. The top housing, it's... So, I can kind of show you what the difference is. You can kind of see. So, this is the box navy. Let me adjust the zoom on the, or the adjust the focus again. Okay, so here we go. Box navy. So there's where your LED goes, this side right here, right? So you see how it's got like, it's like flat, like has a no opening here. Now look at the box royal. See how it has like a spot there? It's like open, but that little space, that little clear space there is closed off. So you can't do anything with it. So yeah, they need to make it so that you can actually put something in that spot. Make it much easier on people. Oh, I should probably fix that. Sorry about that. Change the zoom. Change the focus back to where it should be. There we go. Yeah, so it's just weird how they decided to put that spot there and then there's like nothing. Like no reason why they shouldn't have a hole cut there. He gave you an extra switch. Why did he give you an extra switch? It's just an extra one in your little your order. So I think the next the next set of switches that he's going to come out with are going to be those the pale purple or the pale royal. So I remember seeing a screenshot or a picture of them, and they're just a little bit lighter purple, and those are going to be the lighter tactile version. Yeah, and then I would guess that he's probably going to make some kind of silenced tactile. But I know the silenced clicky was like huge on everyone's list because Kyle H said they were going to do it. Yeah, Box Noble, that's it. Hardstone17 says Box Noble. Yes, Box Nobles. That's what they're called. Because this is Box Royal. Yeah, but XDA Godspeed, this set is actually very nice. I really like it. Feels great to type on. Yeah, I wonder how he counts his switches. I wonder if he does it by weight. Because if I were to like have to ship stuff like this, I would probably just do everything by weight, since the weight doesn't really change between, you know, it's a manufactured product that's not variable as much. So if he ships by weight, then if you go over by like half a gram, who knows, right? You're gonna ask Pete in Discord? Oh, you're gonna ask, did Pete send you the extra switch? Or, wait, what are you asking Pete? And remember, he is actually out, or he was out of the country last I talked to him. I'm not sure if he still is. So he might not answer for a little bit. All right. Oh, that feels so weird. So much cat fur. Okay, now let's put the back plate on. So this is the part that is a little bit annoying with this board because you put these little spacers in and they go into the PCB. And when you can get the PCB to cooperate, they go into the PCB, and then you screw the plate, the bottom plate on into these spacers, but the spacer moves, which is kind of annoying. But he did fix that in the next revision, apparently, so that's good. We are almost done with this board, folks. And then we might just open up some switches and do some lubing. I'm not sure, though. I might do that in another stream. Might do that later this week. I'm just realizing I'm actually really hungry. I had a very small breakfast. And so now I'm feeling a little hungry.